people of the internet, welcome back to my channel. For those of you who haven't been here before, hi, my name is Anna and I hope that you stick around. Today's video is another installment of the series that I have chosen to call How to Colorful Eyeshadows, where I show you how to incorporate colorful eyeshadows into your look. This series is inspired by a customer that once told me that she was too afraid to use colorful eyeshadows because she was afraid it would look like someone had punched her in the eye. So here I am to show you tips and tricks on how to avoid exactly that. Today's color is purple. So this is a super simple look, and I actually went back in my very own archive here on YouTube for inspiration on this look. So if you want to know how to achieve this eyeshadow look, then please keep on watching. So my base is already done and my eyes are already prepped, but I like to go in with some additional powder. And like my previous look, I want a sharp wing, so I go in with some surgical tape to use as a guide. If you watched my previous video with the green shade, you will see that there are a lot of repeating steps in this video. This look as well, on a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to start off with a so-called transition shade. This is so that the shades we lay on top has something to blend into. I'm starting off with this light creamy shade that I just sloppily blend all over the lid up to my brow bone. Then with the same brush, I go in with a slightly darker brown shade, and the reason why I go in with an additional transition shade is because we're going to use a purple shade. So we really need something to anchor that purple shade to. Now let the fun begin. On a more tapered blending brush, I'm going in with this rather dark purple shade that I pat along the tape I put down to create sort of a foundation for the liner. And I really work this in along that liner. I make sure to really blend it out, and when there is not that much product left, I blend it up through the crease. So blending is key with these type of looks. I also go in with round 2 of that same shade to create even more dimension to the look. Now with this slightly darker purple on the same brush, I'm repeating the last step, only I concentrate it even lower towards the lash line, and this is to create a depth of smokiness. But I always finish with blending it through the crease. If you've seen any of my other makeup videos or know me in person, you know that this is my favorite part. So on a smaller concealer brush, I'm taking this iridescent purple and spraying the brush with some setting spray before placing this where the gradient from the darkest purple end and stop when I'm about half over my lid. And I just work it into the desired effect. Then of course we gotta be extra, so I go in with this more metallic purple as well and place this on the seam of the last shade, meaning middle lid. And I work this over the lid about 2/3 of the way. If you didn't know already, I love gold, so of course we gotta have some gold to this look as well. I put this down from the inner corner and drag it up over the spot that is not already covered in shadow, and I go slightly over the seam of the purple shade to merge these two shades together. It's always a little nerve-wracking, but taking the tape off to reveal the liner. Then I also go over with a small brush to brush away excess shadow and use my beauty sponge to blend that line that I created in my base. For my under eye, I'm going back with that same brown shade that I used on the lid as a base shadow for the under eye. Then I figured I wanted to enhance that liner that I put down with some eyeliner. And this is a very creamy eye pencil, so I take that on a fine liner brush to apply. I also bring this under my lower lash line as well. Before I blend it out with some of the darkest purple shade that we used on the lid. And of course, we can't forget to highlight those inner corners. And of course, a touch on the brow bone as well. And then I do this very dramatic transition to go off camera to apply my mascara, and I've gone with a dark brown mascara for a softer look. I also do my finishing touches like bronzer, blush, and setting spray before I wrap the entire look up with the lips and the tiniest lip liner and a nude lip. And that completes the look. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching.